often imitated, never duplicated, the greatest show under the world of outlaws.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network as we battle for the championship with the Extreme Motorsports 99. We are coming to you live from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, bringing you the Samson Motorsports 125 for chase race number 3 of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Track Series. I'm your commentator, Sean Zulu. I am joined by my good friend and producer, Dave Everly. How are you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. How you doing, Sean?
I am doing good too, thank you. Well, going over tonight's race right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, coming from Chicagoland Speedway last week. A very similar track to this one right here. So the drivers had some good practice last week. Hopefully they can transfer over what they learned last week to this track right here. But Dave, what are we working with tonight, weather-wise?
Looking at the weather, it's 78 degrees. Track temperature, 86 degrees. Wind out of the north at 2 miles an hour under partly cloudy conditions.
And unlike the Can-Am series, the drivers here tonight do have a 65% fuel limit as usual all season long. That's 65% fuel limit. So that gives us 3 green flag pit stops, I should say, 3 required pit stops in order for the drivers to be able to make it the full length of the race. 125 laps, that is 125, and a 65% fuel limit. So recap from last week's race, the American Ethanol 225 at Chicagoland Speedway. Tom Whitmore brought it home for his first win of the chase. Zachary Crazer came out second, that's his teammate. Scott Mitten third, Ken Ladd fourth, Hunter McDaniel fifth, Travis Pryor sixth, Chris Thorman seventh, 19 of Andy Starcher eighth, Chris Gibew ninth, and Cody McFadden did round up that top 10. And in that race, Adam Eisenhower did take the pole and led us to our first green flag of the evening. And we had so much harder racing as drivers tried to make the best of the chase, knowing we only have 2 races after this race right here. We have 2 more races after this before we are able to crown a champion. Maybe it's going to be the same champion or a different one. But either way, that does build up the anticipation. And we had some green flag pit stops, which did spread out the field and put into play different amazing pit strategies until the very end. But the race did end under caution, bringing it down to Tom Whitmore, Zachary Crazer, Scott Mitten, Ken Ladd, Hunter McDaniel, and Travis Pryor unchallenged. Well, moving on to our current points championship standings, we have Zachary Crazer going from 3rd place to new leader in points, Tom Whitmore from 5th place to 2nd, Travis Pryor from 1st place to 3rd, Ken Ladd and Scott Mitten tied for 4th in points. Hunter McDaniel from 2nd to 5th. Vern Bradley still 6th in points. Chris Gibew and Gary Woobot both tied for 7th in points. Chris Thorman from 10th place to 8th. Marty Ray and Curtis Vollmer both tied from 9th place. And Matthew Welzenbach went from 7th place to 10th place, but he is still running up the top 10 in points. And so we have 2 groups, I should say 3 sets of drivers tied in points for the championship points, that is. So that will make things extra interesting, ladies and gentlemen, because the drivers tonight will be trying their best to break these ties the best they can before next week's race, chase race number 4 at Michigan International. And we see you guys in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. Usual suspects, we have Timothy Petito. Good to there, Tim. Tim rooting on the 81 of Travis Pryor. Same as Pat T. Good to there, Pat T. And Jay Pryor as well in the chat. Abbas Ladak. Good to see there, buddy. And thank you for watching. If you are new, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dre Broadcasting Network. I am Sean Zulu and David Everly, the mad scientist behind the cameras and everything. And we hope that you guys will enjoy the show tonight. Chase race number 3 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And so far, the qualifying session has now ended and we are now gridding up. So we'll give the drivers a few seconds before we go down the list. Oh, and at 29 of Welzenbach as well in the chat, rooting on the 39 of Zachary Crazer. And that's right, let us know who you're rooting for tonight. We have Waylon Williams rooting on the 97, of Garrett Robinson. Waylon, a driver from the Pro Can-N Series. Go see there, Waylon. Well, last week's post hitter, tonight's post hitter as well. 86, Adam Eisenhower. Curtis Vollmer starting second. Scott Mitten third. Garrett Robinson fourth. Brian Kuhl fifth. Tommy Haynes sixth. We have Ken Ladd seventh. Cody McFadden eighth. Hunter McDaniel ninth. And Marty Ray so far is rounding up the top 10. Tom Wetmore, last week's winner, first chase win for him, 11th. And once again, keep in mind that Tom Wetmore is defending champion and trying to hang on to that belt because he has had a lot of drivers trying to take it away. Travis Pratt 12th, Chris Gibu 13th, Zachary Krazer 14th, Vernon Margheim 15th, David White 16th, Jamie Christensen 17th, Justin Roden 18th, Dustin Hart 19th, and the 5 of Gary Woolbot in the 20th place position. Tommy Amasi starting 21st, Chris Voiles 22nd. We missed Chris Voiles last week, but he is back tonight, 22nd. 7 round of Chris Thurman 23rd, and Andy Starcher in the 24th place spot, being the last driver to qualify. And at this 03 Don Killer Jr. will be 25th. Oh, Mike Franklin as well is racing, so Mike Franklin and Don Killer Jr. rounding up the rest of the field, including Vern Bradley, who is racing the chase as well. And we are now rolling right now, being led by post hitter 86, Adam Eisenhower, back-to-back post hitting. The 50 of Scott Mitten right behind him on the inside. On the outside is 48 of Curtis Vollmer, who will be pushed by the 97 of Garrett Robinson, Mr. Dirt Track himself, from last night in the Pro Can-N Series, rocking that Scooby-Doo paint scheme. Well, Dave, let's focus on the Scooby-Doo machine of Robinson, just so we can admire that paint scheme, because that definitely is well-dressed. Yeah, just goes to show how much time these drivers take on these paint schemes, and it always shows, because it's never disappointing. It always catches your eye, and you never want to stop looking at it once you start. Well, exiting turn 4, going green this time, but for the first time, Samson Motorsports 125 pace car is off. Adam puts down the floor. He does catch the drivers off guard. Curtis sees it coming, but not quite. 97 Robinson caught sleeping and gets overtaken by 50 of Scott Mitten. He goes back to 4th place, going single file before entering turn number 1. The 4 of Branco on the inside of this 97 of Garrett Robinson trying to overtake him for 4th place. This right here is lap number 1 of the Samson Motorsports 125 for Chase Race 3 of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Track Series. So stay tuned, hang on to your seats. A lot is on the line for these drivers, and we're going to have a lot more take than give, I should say. No take, no give, but all take. And for the back of the pack, Cody McFadden so far trying to make some moves. It's trying to get the inside of the 17 of Tommy Haynes. Tommy Haynes the inside of Hunter McDaniel. Hunter stays high, but Tommy pushes way wide. And because of that, he backs off to avoid cause. The triple crossover move by the 6 of Cody McFadden, and right behind him is the 6 of Tom Wetmore. The 6 of Tom Wetmore is pushing on the 6-4 of Cody McFadden, up, overtaking the 17 of Tommy Haynes. Tommy Haynes will try to drop back in line here before too long to get back in the normal race group, but not too late. 81 Pratt to the inside for 10th place. '17 of Tommy Haynes, huge slingshot off turn number 2, entering turn 3. They stay side by side, drag racing. Off turn 4, Tommy just might have him with the slingshot, but Pryor propels a big noselead on the exit of turn 4. And that's Travis Pryor's first appearance in the top 10, same as the 6 of Tom Wetmore.
Well, Sean, we still got a lot of race, 122 laps to go. As it looks like these front guys are pretty much getting single file. I think we do have a battle here for the race lead. Curtis Vollmer, Adam Eisenhower. Vollmer on the inside, Eisenhower in that Eagles machine. Eagles Silverado there on the outside. The 50 of Scott Mitten. Let's jump on the in-car as he is watching this battle solo here. Is actually now, it looks like Scott Mitten is looking to the inside there of Adam Eisenhower.
Yep, they stay side by side, and Adam will try and propel. Well, I have the wrong machine here inside. That's going to be no, that is Adam. Adam will propel as a new paint scheme. That kind of threw me off for a second. The 48 of Curtis Bowman just might have him. He lit his light nose on the exit of 4. But the slingshot or the momentum gain off the outside will help Adam Eisenhower. Oh, actually scratched that. Curtis was still able to maintain that lead by a nose here. 50 of Sky Mitten trying to take it away. The 48 of Curtis taps the apron, loses some speed here and there, and that will cause him to lose a little bit of time to the 86 of Adam Eisenhower on the backstretch. And that 4 of Branco will drive for Diabetes Awareness. Machine is in this mix. 97 of Robinson, so he's inside, side by side they go on that front straightaway.
Almost had a 3 wide there for that lead. 50 of Scott Mitten thought about it. He just backed off. Is just going to ride and let these guys decide. But we almost had a 3 wide action there, Sean.
Oh yeah, we should not throw that out the window just yet. Hit 3 wide will be coming here before too long. I have a feeling these things seem to be handling way better than the Pro Can-N machines last night. I mean, the Pro Can-N machines are way faster about the same time, yeah, to an observation. But so far, 97 Robinson on the inside of 50 of Sky Mitten side by side. They'll go entering turn number 1. And the 50 of Mitten just might edge him out on the exit of 2. Yes, he clears him before turn 2, actually. And look at that, Dave New driving the top 5. 57 of Hunter McDaniel poking his nose. That Maverick Motorsports machine, Hunter McDaniel, but takes the 97 Robinson. Robinson still determined to get the job done regardless. And once again, Robinson has become a very amazing driver in the long run throughout the whole entire season. He has been better. He was good in the beginning, but he has progressed to become way better at this point. And just a reminder to the new viewers out there, and for those drivers or viewers who might have forgotten, the drivers who are racing in for the championship in the chase include Tom Wetmore, who had 6 wins in the regular season. Vern Bradley had 1 win. Scott Mitten had 1 win as well. Zachary Crazer 1 win. Curtis Vollmer, Travis Pryor, Marty Ray, Hunter McDaniel, Chris Gibew, Ken Ladd, Matthew Wells, and back Gary Woolbot and Chris Thorman. These 13 drivers are racing for the championship, trying to take it away from defending champion 6 of Tom Wetmore. The question is, will it be possible? Can it be done? Well, we're going to have to find out in the next upcoming 2 races, because just 2 more races remain before we crown a champion. And fingers crossed, we know you guys have your favorites out there. And I just now noticed this, but Mr. Super Speedway himself, Matthew Welsenbach, is not racing tonight. Look forward to seeing you back again next week there, Matthew. Further back in the pack, Dave, so much single file going on. Justin Roden behind the 8 of Jamie Christensen, who is behind the 24 of Chris Gibew. These guys working together for a common good single file. The draft is very strong at a track like this. Does benefit them on the straight stretches and the front stretch itself. So they won't fall short with that draft. They cannot go wrong with the existence of that draft. And they are catching up 39 of Zachary Crazer. Zachary Crazer, new points leader in the championship point standings.
Well, going up front, speaking of the defending champion here, the 6 of Tom Wetmore, starting 11th all the way up into 6th here as he is riding behind the 97 of Ken Ladd. As Ken Ladd is working against Cody McFadden. McFadden on the inside, Ken Ladd, Tom Wetmore on the outside.
Yeah, Robinson is still determined to get the job done on the outside, and he finally makes a pass successfully against 48 of Curtis Vollmer, and 6 of Wetmore will take advantage of Robinson by getting around, using his drop to get around 48 of Curtis Vollmer, and Curtis Vollmer might be trying to back it up and maybe set up these guys for the long run, but I mean, he was battling heavily early on with the drivers up in front of him, 50 of Scott Mitten, namely Hunter McDaniel included in that, so he might have burned up his stuff, including Adam Eisenhower in the front. So he might have burned up his stuff from battling heavily too early on, and now might just back it up to try and stabilize that machine before it becomes extra tight or even looser, because depending on the driving styles, these machines do react differently with every single lap. And up front, Dave battle for the race lead. At least 50 of Mitten is trying to battle for the race lead with the 86 of Adam Eisenhower, trying to take it away from him. but so far having no luck. Adam is very, very strong so far, and the 50 Unbeaten will just try and back it up and set him up for the long run, because now they have 15 laps of green flag laps on their tires.
Yeah, most definitely, but still 111 laps here to go. So we are just going to have to wait and see. But let's go a little further back here in the field. 33, Vern Markheim sitting there, but Brent Cole, we see him riding up front, but now he has dropped all the way back into 21st. Not sure if he maybe made contact with the wall, but he has dropped back as the 28 of Chris Boyles just got around him.
Yeah, speaking of Brent Cole, that machine has sustained some damage on the rear end and the front end. The right front, absolutely, that was definitely wall contact. Most likely exit of turn 2. Because that's usually the turn that claims a lot of machines. It could be the A cars, B cars, C cars, which are the trucks. Oh, well, I guess trucks, can't really call them cars. But C class, I should say. And the 4 of Brent Cole keeps getting freight at a fast rate as we speak. He does stay high. 14 of Vern Bradley to his inside. Line 19 on distortion on the same line. The 4 of Brent, most likely Dave, hoping for a caution so he can be able to get that machine fixed and back up to speed.
Let's take a look, see if he's got any damage on that truck there, the 4 of Brent Cole. Yes, he does. He has got some right side damage on that truck of his. Yeah, he's got some heavy right side damage. Looks like he must have made contact with a wall. So I think you're right. I think he is hoping on a caution here to get that thing down into pit road and get it repaired.
Most definitely. Getting some intel there from the 29 who wasn't back, unfortunately. Yeah, has retired for the season, but he will be back next season. Looks like he couldn't get a new truck belt. They only had a Toyota available, and he didn't want that. He wanted his Chevy Silverado. I don't blame you, brother. I don't blame you. Oh. And thank you for watching, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. 65% fuel limit, 19 laps on their tires this far. We should expect to see some green flag pit stops here in the next 10 laps. 10 to 15 laps, that is. So here, just keep your fingers crossed. We're going to see which strategies exactly work out the best and which ones not quite as well. And 6th winner gets around 97 Robinson and is next between the 50 of Scott Mitten.
Now, let's take a look at our current point standing leader right now. He is running back in 12th position. Second place, Tom Wetmore, currently running in 4th position. Scott Mitten, I do believe, is in 3rd in points. Let me take a look here. Might be no. Travis Pryor is currently in 3rd in points. He is running in 9th. Scott Mitten and Ken Ladd tied for 4th. Scott Mitten is running in 3rd, and Ken Ladd back in 13th. And 6th in points is going to be the 57 Hunter McDaniel, and he is currently running P2 right now. So we got a lot of contenders for the championship right up here for this championship.
Yeah, and speaking of those ties, yep, these guys will be trying to break those ties like you talked about. Ken Ladd and Scott Mitten both battling for 4th place in points. Chris Gibeon and Gary Woolbot both battling for 7th place in points. And Marty Ray, Curtis Vollmer as well, both battling for the 9th place position in points. And speaking of Marty Ray, I haven't spoken much of Marty Ray tonight, but he is back in 8th place, being challenged by the 81 of Travis Pratt side by side. But Travis makes the pass successfully against him before the entrance to turn number 4 off turn 4. 65 Marty tries to take it to the inside. Yep, he goes down to the inside, but backs off just right. Oh, we had some 3 wide in the trial entering turn 1. 27 of Justin Road and 8 of Jamie Christensen and 26 of Dustin Hart, where they collected that back down single file. 26 Dustin Hart behind 8 of Jamie Christensen, who will be pushed, or he is pushing him. At the same time, Justin Roden is trying his best to get the draft of Dustin Hart to try and increase that momentum, to try and catch up to those leaders here before too long. Because once those green flag pit stops kick in, the idea is to be as close as possible to the leaders before going down pit road, so you can be better off. But if the caution does not come out and the pace continues the way it is, and the caution doesn't come out all race long, your pace will keep getting nothing but slower compared to the leaders, which will make you vulnerable, and which means you might be most likely going a lap down before the race is over. And these guys are trying their best. Oh, 27 for Justin Horton, 3 wide on the outside. Yes, 3 wide. The 8 of Jamie in the middle lane. 26 Dustin Horton on the inside line. They're gonna make it stick. Yes, they do make it stick. But Dustin Horton does back it down before back in line behind the 8 of Jamie Christensen. 27 of Justin Horton did drift way high to give room for that 3 wide action. And what I've noticed about Justin Rodden is that he does really have usually have problems with his machines pushing on him, specifically entering turn number 1 and 2. So he has been trying his best to balance that out, but so far seems to be driving it way too hard and is burning up his stuff as we speak. He's here right now. He falls in line behind 26 of Dustin Hart, but behind him is the 33 of Vernon Markheim. Vernon Markheim to the inside line. Vern trying to get up into the top 10. He has 6 more spots to get up to the top 10 and is determined to get the job done. He sees a bigger picture, and that is all he needs. The 5 of Gary Woodward as well is in this chase. He is in this mix. The same as the 71 of Chris Thorman. Side by side, they go throughout this front stretch. Entering turn 1, 19th and 20th place. The 71 of Chris Thorman gets around 5 Woodward for 19th place. And that bumps Woodward into 20th place, making him round up the top 20. And right behind him is a Motor Roaring. That's going to be the 19 of Andy Starcher.
Well, Sean, we saw last night in the Pro K&N Series, these guys did 33, 34 laps on a tank of fuel. These guys are approaching 28 here in the truck. So the question is, I think we're going to be seeing some green flag pit stops probably here with the next five laps.
Yeah, my thought exactly. Next 5 laps sounds about right with that 65% fuel limit here in the tracks compared to the 50 geez, can't speak, fuel limit, sorry, 50% fuel limit of the K&N cars. And so far, Tommy Massey going down pit road as we speak. Gary Woodward pitting in as well with 28 laps on their tires. This is going to influence a lot more drivers to follow the lead of Woodward and Massey.
Well, Sean, going back up front, we actually have a new race leader, the 6 of Tom Wetmore, after starting in 11th. Here in the first 30 laps, he has gotten around the 86 of Adam Eisenhower, but I tell you what, Eisenhower is in trouble of losing some more spots as he is battling side by side with the 97 of Garrett Robinson. Also, the 50 of Scott Mitten is there as well, looking to take over some position.
Oh, Dave, as you were speaking, we had some trouble on pit entrance. 26 of Dustin Hart caught speeding, doing over 30 miles an hour, over the pit road speed limit. He was going 80 in a 50, and that is going to be a 15-second penalty. So he will be on pit road for quite a while before he's released by up front. Tom Wetmore leading some laps, and last week when Tom Wetmore got the race lead, it was difficult to get it away from him. And something tells me it's going to be the exact same thing. But looking at it right now, all 5 Tommy Massey on his inside, but no harm done there. Tommy is trying to get his lap back the hard way. Yes, he gets 1 lap back down from 2 laps to 1 lap this time by. And Tom Wetmore still staying out with now going on to 32 laps on his tank. And Dustin Hart finally rolling off pit road, having a 29-second pit stop compared to that of Woodward and Massey, less than 15 seconds.
Yes, so, well, these guys have already got 32 laps here. Tom Wetmore currently in our lead. Let's go through our top 10 right now. Tom Wetmore leading, Adam Eisenhower second. Garrett Robinson actually just moved up into 2nd position as he is still battling Adam Eisenhower. Currently in 3rd third right now being scored Eisenhower, but Cody McFadden there is now challenging Eisenhower. He is going to take the 3rd spot, moving Eisenhower back into 4th. Travis Pryor up into 5th, Curtis Palmer 6th, Marty Ray moving up into 7th, actually moving up into 6th position, moving Curtis Palmer back to 7th, Zachary Kraser 8th, Haynes 9th, well, that's changing because we've got green flag pit stops going on.
Yep, and previous leader 6 of Tom Wetmore did pit in, passing the race lead over to the 97 of Garrett Robinson. So once the leader pits in, everybody, I should say the majority of the field will follow the leader's lead. But pit road is a busy place so far. Tom Wedgman, Travis Price, Zachary Crazer, Hunter McDaniel, Ken Ladd, Chris Voiles, Brian Kuel. Down pit road this time by Robinson, backing that sucker down. Downshifting the heck out of it, hitting in as we speak.
I tell you, one thing that's real difficult here at Las Vegas is getting that truck slowed down, because they are going from 180 mile an hour down to 50 on pit road. They got to be careful not to lock them brakes up, because they lock them brakes up, they're going to slide into that grass, and they're probably more likely going to get a penalty.
Oh, absolutely, that is a fact. And we, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special treat tonight. Special guest, Joe White from the OSI Network. How are you doing tonight, Joe?
Hey, pretty good, fellas. What's going on?
Oh, man, just enjoying this show. These guys are putting on Chase Race 3 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell you what, we'll get some trucking action going on out here, too, tonight. Like you said, what happens in Vegas, man, stays in Vegas, and these boys are bad fast here tonight.
Yep, all these land speed records they break definitely will stay here, right here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And at this point, we almost have everybody pitting in. We have 2 more drivers left to pit in, Joe. Only Vernon Markheim and Vern Bradley. And from experience there, Joe, I've noticed that the longer you stay out on your tank, on your tires, the more time you lose the drivers who have newer tires.
Well, you know, tires is the biggest thing. It's always been the Achilles heel when it comes to racing, so to speak. Tires and fuel, but, you know, you wear them tires out, you definitely got to have them. That's that old saying, tires win a race, and I guess that's what we're looking at right now. A lot of green flag pit stops.
And speaking of those pit stops, only 1 more driver left to pit in, and that's going to be Vernon Markheim. And once that happens, everybody will have pitted in. And the previous, looks like the leader to be will be Cody McFadden, who is being challenged by 39 of Zachary Crazer as we speak on the front stretch.
Yeah, absolutely, man. The front stretch, these guys are doing it big here. Las Vegas is a good track here to get some good battling going on. It's a multi-groove, and you can actually pass a little bit here and go 2x2. So it is a very, very good track. Got a lot of high speed to it also.
Absolutely, and also some tracks. What I like about this track too, Las Vegas, is that turn 2, it doesn't usually claim as many drivers compared to tracks like Chicagoland, because turn 2 seems to be a little bit far from the track. So that is a very, very good benefit, Joe, because then you can push this thing to the limit on the exit and get the most speed possible.
Yeah, no doubt. I tell you what, I think Tom Whitmore, the man up there in Dre Broadcast Machine, he's took over the top spot. He's got Chris right there on his backside. Can't pronounce that last name. What's that last name on him there, Sean?
That's going to be Gibu.
I got you. Well, you're better at it than I am. So he's definitely giving Tom everything he can handle.
Absolutely, it's only a matter of time here. Oh, looks like Tom, it does seem to be increasing his lead a little bit, at least trying to. But Joey, that is easier said than done, because with that draft, pulling away from the drivers behind you becomes extra difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. The draft can play a factor here, because you are doing some high speeds, about 180 some mile an hour, heading off into the turn. But right now, it looks like Tom's got a good wrap on this thing. You notice one thing there, Sean, is they're not going all the way down to the apron. They're actually kind of coming right 1 lane up. So that looks like that middle high groove is a place to be here.
Yeah, that most likely is the case. Yeah, trying to set themselves up for the long run here, trying to save some tires. Because at this point of the way the race is going, Joe, cautions might not be a thing tonight. And with that said, everybody has to up their game.
Absolutely. And their nose to tail right here. Looking back here, too, for the 4th and 5th place spot right there, or actually 5th and 6th, respectively. You got Cody McFadden right there with Curtis Vollmer. They're almost nose to tail. So we got some good little short burst type of packs right here. Up front, you got 2 men nose to tail. In the back, in the middle, you got 2 there nose to tail. Now back. So I always like to say, Sean, you got battles up front, battles in the middle, battle out back.
Oh yeah, and those green flag pit stops did really throw the battles every single place on the track. And yeah, we have a lot of drivers who had some bad times on pit road, including 26 of Dustin Hart. Unfortunately, got caught speeding, was doing 30 over the pit road speed limit. And because of that, he has lost a lot of time, being shown 2 laps down, 26th place, behind the 17 of Tommy Haynes, 48 of Curtis Vollmer, making some moves against the 46 of Cody McFadden. Side by side they go on the exit of 2.
Yeah, they're coming down the back stretch right there. They're still door to door, heading off into turn number 3. Looks like that 48 is going to try to clear him as he got that inside line. That's going to bring the 2 trucks behind them, who are side by side as they come to the line this time by. You're right, it's going to be lap 42 here of 125 tonight. Most notably, too, Sean, hey, we're in the chase here to try to crown a champ. Tom Whitmore, the man on point right now, and Zach Kreiser sitting in 4th place. That's the 2 men to watch this whole entire race.
Yeah, speaking of Zachary Kreiser, too, he did take over the points lead this week. Starting tonight's race, oh, some smoke on the track. That is a barbecue and a half. Gonna try and catch a number on this machine, the 59 of David White, I believe. Yes, that is David White. Heavy smoke from the rear end, trying to crawl down to pit road. They do have 1 backup truck, so not to worry. Hopefully he hasn't used it yet, and we'll be able to get back out here and spank these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I like the way you referred that to him, the man barbecuing the track. As long as he's got steaks, we're good to go because he can grill all he wants. But right now, it's a good battle on the track. And these guys are definitely hot and heavy out here at Atlanta. Or excuse me, Atlanta. At Las Vegas.
Oh, they are similar. They are similar. And the 48 of Curtis Morris to the inside of the 39 of Zachary Kreiser. I'm trying to figure it out here. Yeah, 48 of Curtis Vollmer so far in 5th place, and McFadden being shown the 6th place position, but that just changed. So once we start finishing, we will know for sure. Yeah, looking at the incident with the 59 of David White there, Joe, he just pushed way too hard, way too much on the exit of 2, and that wall did gladly welcome him with wide open arms. And after that, he shot him down the track, smacked the wall, and smoke there was.
Well, you're talking about the resemblance between this track and Atlanta. And Atlanta, we all know, coming out of turn number 2, if you take it too wide there, you will smack that wall coming out of 2 because the truck has a tendency to push just a little bit. So you got to be mindful of that coming out of there. So it's called one of those loose push style feelings. But talking about a man on the move, right now Curtis Vollmer is a man on the move in that 48 machine. He just blew by the 39 of Zachary right there to take over the 4th place spot.
Yeah, speaking of Curtis Vollmer, Joe, I'm glad you mentioned him. He is tied with Marty Ray in points. So, Joe, he is trying his best to break that tie. That's very good motivation to get the job done. And so far, qualified 2nd, up to 4th place, back up to 4th place. Next victim, 24 of Chris Gideon. Yeah,
no, I'll tell you what, right now, they're going to try to run down old Chris up there in the 3rd place spot. We got Scott Mitten sitting in 2nd. He's about a 7/10 behind Tom. Tom's just out there, man, just in another zip code out here, putting it on him here at Las Vegas. He's definitely got full hand chips out here tonight, and he's hoping to have a full house and bring this thing home in victory lane.
And speaking of Tom Whitmore too, Joe, last week after he took the race lead, he never lost it. I mean, he lost it at 1 point. But then after that, he only lost the lead while pitting in. That goes to that does say a lot, and he actually ended up having his first win of the Chase Series at Chicagoland. But he is trying to beat his record from last season, having winning 3 of the 5 Chase races.
Yeah, absolutely. Try to solidify himself here to make it a 2-time champion back-to-back in the Truck Series. The man's well on his way to do it. He's got, after this race, 2 more races to go here in the chase for the trucks tonight. But right now, Tom's doing really well. You got Scott sitting in 2nd, Chris right there 3rd, Curtis Vollmer on the move with the 48, and Zachary Kreiser right there with is that right, Kreiser?
Absolutely, you got it right. That is Zachary Kreiser.
Great, yeah. Hey, let me tell you, that's one thing I'm not really good at sometimes, last names. You have to work with me on that one there, Sean.
Oh, not to worry, man. We help each other that way, and trust me, I'm not perfect either. Same as the as Mr. Matt Santis right there, David Everly. So absolutely, and Tom Whitmore so far is very fast, Joe, and I should say that's bad news for the slow machines, because so far he is catching up the back of the pack.
Yeah, absolutely. About to put some trucks a lap down out there as we got a battle here about to brew for 5th place. There's the man in the 46 machine, Cody McFadden. He is on the inside right there, and he is going door to door, going to take that spot away for the 5th place spot. So right now, Zachary's, I don't know if they just didn't get the setup right, good set of tires, or he's just out there having a hard handling truck. He's just not clicking right now. He's kind of losing a little bit of little time, a little space out there.
Speaking of Zachary Kreiser, yeah, he most likely, it could be the fact that he might have burned up his stuff while battling early on, or maybe he's just trying to back it up before the next round of pit stops kick in. Speaking of pit stops, We saw the drivers pitted in all the way from laps number 28 through 35. So with that said, we have at least, let's see, we have 10 more laps before the next round of green flag pit stops. Absolutely, Joe. If he would like to be close enough to the leaders before pitting in, he will have to up his game. And so far, the drop of Cody McFadden is helping him.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Right now, you can pick the draft up a little bit, kind of save a little bit on fuel right now. These trucks are close enough to do that. I mean, they're nose to tail right now to kind of fan out a little bit. And as we're watching this, though, a lot of people out there might be viewing. I want to appreciate all the viewers, by the way, checking in here. As you're seeing these guys, man, nose to tail, but it don't take much for somebody to step out there and take over the spot away because they're right there on top of each other.
Almost definitely. Speaking of those viewers, we have Kathy McHenry. Good to see that, Kathy. New viewers, Kathy McHenry and Melissa Ludden. Hey, good to see you guys.
Oh, you caught me with a cookie.
I was actually going to suggest Sean to go get a hot dog for you, Joe, but apparently you've already found the snack tray.
Absolutely.
And I was about to say, Joe, I mean, Dave and I were talking about how I drink tea for during the broadcast and you eat cookies instead.
Well, yeah.
I really can't say anything, Sean, because since you and Joe are taking over the broadcast, which I'm sure the viewers are loving, I'm sitting here eating Reese Cups.
Oh, 10-4. Way to make us jealous. And so far, side by side, going on 46. Oh, Cody McFadden is on a road to overtake the 24. Chris, give you that stay high, goes back down low behind 46. Cody McFadden to try and use a draft of his to get back up there. Maybe work together for a common good to catch the next victim. 48 of Curtis Vollmer, this 50 of Scott Mitten, and the 6 of Tom Wetmore. And Wetmore now being shown almost 2 seconds ahead of second place driver 50 of Scott Mitten. So that lead just went, he actually just increased the lead about a second in a matter of only 3 laps.
Yeah, absolutely. And what you're seeing here right now is when these guys go on the inside, take that inside away from them, as they're making these passes maybe look like an ease, so to speak, out there. It's not as easy as what they're making it look. The guys obviously are doing it week in and week out. We got a pass right here. Zachary looks like he's trying to take over that 5th place spot and get himself back into going. And don't count out that man sitting there in 7th place. That's Travis Pryor, also nicknamed the Kid. Got to give him hands off. He finished 3rd the other night in the Truck Series, and I saw him last night finish in the top 10. So way to go. And he's looking to have another great night here tonight in that truck.
Oh, definitely having already 1 win in the Chase Series already with the first race at Talladega. Yeah, you know, definitely wants to get the job done so far. Sitting 3rd place in 3rd in points. So he is only a few seconds or a few points away from 6 of Wetmore and Zachary Krazer. And this race just could determine whether or not he advances, stays in 3rd place, or goes way below the top 5. But fingers crossed for Travis. He has come a long way this season. The season wasn't going too well for him, Joe, but he was still able to lock himself into the chase. And ever since then, he's been on a roll.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as you're able to get in the chase, that's the hard. That's half the battle right there, so to speak, Sean. Getting into the chase. Once you get there, then guess what? It's work in progress, because then you can kind of go to different mentalities. We see right now good battle brewing here for the 5th place spot there. Travis Pryor's all over the back end as they come out of turn 2, heading off into turn number 3. They're still nose to tail.
That's right behind them. Adam is overtaking 24 of Chris Gibew. Chris Gibew, Joe, when you came in, you talked about how he was battling with the 6 of Tom Wetmore. But looks like maybe he burned up his stuff in the process, because he is dropping like a rock. Like looking at it right now, his pit stop, where he has 3 laps more on his tires compared to Tom Wetmore and Adam Eisenhower. So that most likely is playing somewhat of a negative factor against him.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about it, you know, and then the opposite here is you're looking at the 48. He's definitely a man on a mission. Possessed right now has already pulled that truck, the 48 machine. Curtis Vollmer up to 2nd place. Now, lap time wise, he's still a little bit off what Tom Whitmore's putting out there as of last time. Well, I say that. Let me stand corrected here, because they just crossed the line, and the last lap Tom put down was a 31.118. and Curtis put down a 31.077. So he's a little bit tad faster right now, but he's got his hands full with a 46 machine behind him.
Yeah, 46 is trying to fight him on the outside. They go side by side off turn number 4. The 48 of Vollmer will maintain the inside and goes down the apron. The shorter way around the track. Very smart move. He will maintain his slight noselead. Entering turn number 1. The 46 of Cody McFadden is drives it in hard on the outside and will get a slingshot. Nice and strong. Exiting turn 2 and clears him.
Yeah, they are. They come out of turn 2. They looked right there. He cleared him on the high side with a power move right there on the 46. Cody did, but look at the 48. He's going to power back on the inside. Coming out of turn number 3, they're going to head off to the line here. To come across the line, it's going to be lap 62 of 125. You talked about it there, Sean. Not 100% sure. Missed kind of the first part. How long did they go on that first green flag pit stop, and can they just do it on one more stop?
Well, Joe, they went all the way from 28 laps through 35. And speaking of those pit stops, Joe, we have some in progress. 24, Chris Gibby on pit road with 32 laps on his tires. Scott Mitchell pitted in 2 laps ago. Tommy Massey did pit in 6 laps ago. But with that said, it makes me wonder. Yeah, they should most likely be able. Yeah, they should be able to make it on just one more pit stop. Speaking of pit stops, Tom Wetmore going down pit road, including Zachary Krazer. And that he did give up the race lead, and that passes it on to the 46 of Cody McFadden.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the one man out there right now, well, as we say that, Tom Whitmore's heading down on pit road. He's taking a pit stop now. I was going to say the one man out there that really wanted to see the battle between the second and third place machines as the 46 is heading up pit road. So we're on the green flag pit stops at this moment, Sean.
Yep, second round right now, and Curtis Bowman takes over the race lead this time by on lap 65. And Travis right behind him. So Curtis Bowman, Travis Pike, Garrett Robinson, Ken Ladd, Vern Bradley, Justin Roden, Chris Thorman, Jimmy Christensen, and Chris Voiles. These drivers on the lead lap still need to pit in. And a lot more drivers being shown already 1 lap down. Had some bad pit stops early on. 57 Hunter McDaniel included in that. And 48 of Bowman. Oh, he almost misses pit entrance. But he finally makes it, boxed down to 50 miles an hour. Down pit road this time. And Travis will follow right behind.
That is, he comes down with Travis Pryor right there along with him. And I think it's Garrett Robinson also coming down along pit road with him. As you're right, though, Curtis has brought it down. He stayed out a couple more laps, maybe to try to get every so thing. If this is the last pit stop of the race here, if these gentlemen can go the entire way, which is actually stretching it, I think they're going to have to make one more pit stop for the end of this one here, Sean.
Yeah, that one more final pit stop. Yeah, for the drivers who pitted in early, though, you know, that, for example, I talked about how Tommy Massey pitted in about 6 laps before the leaders did. Something tells me, Joe, he might have to pit in maybe 2 more times. I mean, once more, and then the second time would be a splash, but we'll find out either way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, here's the thing. When you got a guy, Tom, out there doing the pace he's doing on the track, we've seen it time and time again. You got to do something out of the ordinary to run him down or try to beat him. And 9 times out of 10, when you're on a green flag style run of a race, which this one is working itself out to be, you definitely got to. The only place you can do it is strategy of pit stops, and maybe coming in early, maybe staying out later is the only way. Maybe forcing the hand of Tom to do something a lot different than what he wants to do.
Oh, absolutely. And as you were speaking there, I was doing the calculations that you talked about there, Joe. And I've come to a conclusion that some drivers who stayed there with 33 laps on their tires, well, so far, that's Jamie Christensen. These guys will be 4 laps to the good if these guys go green all the way. But the drivers who pitted in 6 laps before these drivers did, these guys will be at least 5 to 10 laps short.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where you've got to just kind of time it right. Look at what you need to do, what the big picture is here. Obviously, he's winning the race. So you've got to look, and you've got to, Tom out there, he's setting the pace. He's putting down, he's the man in charge right now. He's making the pace of this race. So these other guys are trying to figure out, okay, look, if I just don't have pure power to be able to beat him, I've got to do something out of the ordinary to get on pit road here. Now, obviously, we're sitting here talking, Sean, and you're writing down everything on the notebooks and all that. Well, if a caution came out, you could just wad all that up, throw it in the trash, because everything we just said went out the back door.
Oh, absolutely. At this point, with that said, Joe, Tom Wetmore does not want to see a caution because he is very, very good when it comes to pace, long run, and everything. And if the caution comes out, it's going to bunch everybody back up. And with that said, once everybody gets bunched up and when they remember how Tom Whitmore had driven all race long, that will make sure they get around him and keep him behind for the longest time.
Yeah, you'll be a lot more aggressive as you see in a battle right now brewing here for the 4th and 5th place. We saw the 46 and the 48 earlier on battling it out. They got 4 new tires out there now. They feel like Superman on them trucks. Is right there. We see Curtis is trying to open up that door, and if the 46 does there, Cody, and definitely he'll kick that thing in and go slap right through it.
And we now have 55 laps left here on lap number 71. This will be a good time to take our first commercial break of tonight's race, so you guys can get your first run of popcorn and refreshments, and so we can thank our sponsors. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Samson Motorsports 125 for chase race number 3 of the Extreme Motorsports 99.com Camping World Truck Series. Well, going back to the race, 6 of Whitmore is leading, 50 Scott Mitts in second, Curtis Vollmer third, Cody McFadden fourth, and Zachary Krazer in the 5th place position. So far we have 48 laps left, one more pit stop for most of the field, majority of the field, with a few drivers who most likely won't be able to make it on one more, but will most likely have to go in for another splash after that one pit stop. But fingers crossed for that. Some drivers desperately in need of a caution at this point. Joe only having 15 drivers on the lead lap.
Yeah, only 15 out here right now, and it has become one of these pace-style tracks, which, you know, Las Vegas brings that kind of racing. Obviously, I'm seeing a lot of professionalism going on out here, so we see a good battle between a couple of lap cars here. Zachary Krazer, hope I pronounced his last name right there. In the middle of them right there, we saw Don Kidder Jr. there, and Tommy Haynes, he was splitting them. One of them obviously on new tires, the other one on old tires, but This is the thing. They're in the middle of a transition. That's what green flag pit stops bring. Transition. This is what we're seeing right now.
And speaking of that transition, Joe, it would be beneficial for the rest of the field. So far, the drivers like Scott Mitten, Curtis Vollmer, McFadden, and Zachary Kraser, these guys are hoping that Tom Wetmore gets slowed down by lap traffic. But so far, Tom is in the clear. A lot of machines have found fifth gear, trying to keep him behind. And so far, it is working. They are trying to avoid going a lap down. And so far, his next victim would be the 28 of Chris Boyles.
Well, here's the thing. I'm watching lap times out there right now, Sean. Tom has put down some pretty good pace of a 30.7 at last time. The other two trucks that are able to keep pace with him is that 48 to 46 there, Curtis Vollmer and Cody McFadden. And they're able to keep pace along with the 30.7 and 30.6. The problem is they're almost 4 seconds behind. To make that gap up is going to be very, very hard to do because they're running dead almost even with Tom. They're going to have to, we mentioned it earlier there before the break, they're going to have to do something drastic. Caution, obviously, like you said, it's not what Tom wants to see because with those times right there, as we see, they're just a tad bit faster than Tom. Is if they get a caution and able to get on his back bumper, then we got a different ball game. The thing about it now is they're going to have to do something strategic pit-wise to get close enough to Tom.
And speaking of strategic here, and they're not doing the pit strategy just yet, but I was going to talk about how the bump draft in between the 50 of Mitten and Curtis Vollmer was taking place. But then they do disconnect, and so far also Cody McFadden is poking his nose into this battle. So these guys might run single file. That draft will batch them up, and their speeds will increase, which in turn will mean better lap times against Tom Wetmore. But scratch that, 46 of Cody McFadden on the inside of the 50 of Scott Mitten, side by side.
Yeah, it is. 46, he takes that inside line, makes that pass with ease right there over the 50 of Scott. As we saw that all race long, those guys going the inside. Very, very respect going on out here that you can tell between the sportsmanship and the driving that's happening. Got to give my hats off to these gentlemen out here in the Truck Series of Extreme Motorsports99.com because we're here in the race we're chased, folks. We're trying to crown a champ. Right now, though, you know, Tom's got a very, very good lead out here, and that's the thing that he needs to protect as a lead. Keep his eye on that relative. Oh! 46 in the back.
That's a 4. Yep, the 4. Brent Kuo did get very, very loose, entering turn 4 and snapped it straight into the wall. But we still stay green. But please, Dave, if we can, let's back it up on replay and focus on Brent and see what happened.
Well, we definitely can do that. We are going to pull up the Dre Broadcasting instant replay here. As we are going to focus on the 4 of Brent Kuo. See if we can see exactly what happened here coming through the turn. Yeah, that back end just kicked loose up into the outside wall, sawed him down to the inside, but he gets it off of the racetrack, keeps it going. That is going to keep us green flag racing here at Las Vegas.
And that was a very, very nice save by the 4 of Brent Kuo, but very unfortunate, he was already a lap down, and we'll be going one more lap down to be put down to 2 laps down. And I'm looking at it on pit road. So far, it looks like he's got no backup truck. So he's just staying there to get some damage fixed on that machine so he can be able to still stay competitive, or I should say as competitive as he can with the damage that he has sustained. And surprisingly, Joe, Brent got loose with only about 17 laps on his tires, but I see drivers all the way with 27 laps on their tires, 25 to 27 laps on their tires, 10 laps more than Brent, but they seem to be way more stable.
Yeah, and it's all about driving and entry, too, of this track here. You've got a lot of speed you carry in this track. Momentum styles, what this track brings to the table here. You can see some guys going low, some going middle high. And we saw when he went in there, he got a little loose. The problem is the 46 was right there, too. Might have been a little contact to help him get even more looser than what he was. You know, no harm, no foul is what I call it there. He hit the wall pretty hard. But, yeah, some of these guys might have a handle better on how they're going in entry-wise and turn. Right now, the true trucks I'm watching the most is the 48 and the 46. They are a tandem right there running with each other. The problem is, like I say again, Sean, they're so far back from Tom. He's out there. All he has to do is maintain that distance between them. And I hate to give a guy a race, but boy, if he don't make a mistake or they don't do something special or a caution comes out, hey, cross your fingers, knock on wood, They're sitting there because they're running about dead even with him.
Yeah, definitely. And yep, Tom Wetmore definitely has a very big smile on his face because his lead against these guys keeps getting nothing but bigger. And that is more bad news for them and more good news for him. And we had some green flag pit stops take place too, Joe. 81 Travis Pryor pitted in, Ken Ladd pitted in. Let's see, Hunter McDaniel as well was down pit road. But one thing right there, they pitted in with 38 laps left in tonight's race. And with that said, the latest we've seen a driver go was 35 laps on their tires and or tank. So with that said, if that's them running their tanks dry, they might be 3 laps short.
Yeah, we're talking about it right now. Tom, Curtis, and all them guys right now are staying out, which, we're looking at, we're 25, we're sitting at what, about 29 laps right now. Well, actually, a little over about 34 laps, would have to go. You said 35 or 30. They would be right there on the edge. I think the guys that would benefit here, we've seen Cody and Curtis, both of those guys stay out longer than Tom has. Now, unless Tom's just been doing a strategy of short pitting, we'll just have to find out. Vern Bradley's another one out there to bring up the name. He's a master at pit strategies, fuel mileage and whatnot. He's been able to stay out there very long. So those guys, you talk about 5 short, Sean, it might be interesting to see what's going to take here. But Zachary, currently sitting in the 5th spot, he wants to probably get up a few more spots up there to maybe, keep his hopes in this chase here if this thing was to end like it was right now.
Oh, absolutely right. And speaking of Vern Bradley, he has come a very long way. Jumped from 6th place to 9th place as we speak. But he is starting to get a little bit loose. That front end just snapped going down the apron, down the track. But he was able to correct it there in the turn. And we have some pit stops kicking in 29 of crazy like he was speaking of. He's pitting in with about 29 laps on his tires with 33 laps to go. Chris Gibbs down pit road. Garrett Robinson down pit road. Tom Wetmore going on to now 31 laps on his tires this far. So yeah, Tom Wetmore is just doing the strategy of running as much as he can, just so he can be sure he has that security in his mind that I will be able to make it.
Well, he's in the catbird seat. He's got a 3.7 second lead. He is able to let off that throttle, save a lot of tire wear here, because this is your money pit stop here. You got to make everything perfect, and you got to make it just right. He's actually in a spot right now. He could give up time. He could give up 2 seconds and still be 1.7 second ahead, and that would save him a lot on tire wear and whatnot out there in the front, plus fuel. So you're going to see him, I believe, take this thing probably another 3 or 4 laps to get within that 30-lap window or 28-lap window.
Oh, look at that. He just proved you wrong. He pits in with 31 laps on his tires, and that passes the lead to the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. And everybody most likely going to try and follow Tom Wetmore's lead. Maybe not. Marty Ray staying out. Adam Eisenhower staying out. Vern Bradley staying out. And Curtis Vollmer once again is still staying out. So now these guys, Tom Wetmore will be able to make it. Same as Cody McFadden, Scott Mitten. Who else? Let's see, Travis Pryor might. And Zachary Krazer. I'm having doubts on Travis Pryor's pit stop because he pitted in with 22 laps on his tank, which was with 38 laps to go at that point. So fingers crossed for Travis Pryor, but we'll find out either way.
Yeah, and I think right now, a lot of these guys are safe to be able to go. It's going to put them within, 31 laps here of their fuel window. I believe they've got enough to take it the rest of the way from this point on. Now, Vern, obviously, he knows he can stay out there. Curtis can stay out there. This might be the hope that they need to do, but I think if Curtis, the way he sits, probably needs to pit like now in order to make this thing work for him.
Yeah, and he is on pit road right now with 32 laps on his tires for his final pit stop of the evening. And before he pitted in, like you talked about there, Joe, he was 3.7 seconds behind Tom Wetmore. So the question is he going to gain time on pit road? Is he going to lose time on pit road? Or is he going to match the pit time of Tom Wetmore? Let's find out.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing we got to look at here. Is he going to be able to do what he needs to do? It's tough when you're right there on the edge of a pit cycle, because what they needed to do was short pit Tom in order to get the advantage needed. The problem with doing that is Tom took that thing to the limit, and then he short pitted. So that kind of took their stretch. really right now they need a caution.
Yeah, the caution would be very, very beneficial for the whole entire field except for Tom Wetmore. And yeah, these guys definitely banking on that, but if it doesn't come out, that will leave it up to them to find hopefully 6th gear before too long, so they can be able to gain as much time as they can. Hopefully, even have some good luck somewhere there. I mean, they're hoping for the worst for Tom Wetmore because that would work with them. And speaking of those, the pit times between 48 of Vollmer and the 6 of Wetmore there, Joe. Tom Wetmore had a 13.5 second pit stop compared to Curtis, who had a 12.7 second pit stop. So Curtis Vollmer had a 8/10th faster pit stop compared to Tom Wetmore. So he did definitely gain a little bit of time on pit road.
Well, I'll tell you what, we got a heck of a battle going on back here for the 3rd, 4th, and 5th place spot. They took that thing 3 wide coming across the line. Travis Pryor there with the Curtis Vollmer. He went on the inside and took it all away from those guys. The 50 of Scott Bittens right there. They went door to door. Like I say, they came across the line 3 wide, took it into turn 1, 2x2. They're all nose to tail right now. So definitely, when you're on new tires here, to think about it, Sean, you feel like you're Superman and you're the man of steel out there. We're getting here to the final lap. 25 to go this time by.
Oh, definitely. And at this point, Joe, these 4 drivers, including Zachary Crazer, the drivers spoke of, the beasts have found each other. These guys are in each other's draft range. You know, with these drivers' driving styles, you know, they're very fast drivers. So, you know, if they work together, maybe they might gain a little bit of time against Tom Wetmore, but no guarantees, because he's had quite a lead against them, and it's not easy to gain as much time as you might think, lap after lap.
Well, the thing about it is, when you got a 4-point-some-odd second lead out front, you can afford just to take it easy out there. Like I said, you can lose 2 seconds at a time, and we can sit up here and say, oh, wait a minute, they're slowing down. Cody's running him down. Actually, Tom is in the, like I said, the catbird seat. He can dictate what he wants to do out there, and he should. He's the leader. That's why you grow that size lead right there. A lot of people, I don't know if they understand, the racing and how the things work. It's not so much as just having a bad, fast machine, which he does out here tonight with a bunch of other bad, fast machines, but it's also the matter of you got to keep your psyche there. Once you get that big of a lead, maintaining consistency of that lead.
Yep, consistency definitely is a very, very important factor. It's very key at points like this, and he has definitely mastered it here in tonight's race at Las Vegas this far. Lap 103, leading the most laps, Joe. That is amazing. And just like last week's race, ever since he took the race lead, he's been untouchable.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, looking good. I mean, Cody McFadden right there, if he could actually get near, and that's what I say, a caution right now is something that Tom Wetmore definitely does not want to see, because I'm watching lap times, unless, like I say, he is just protecting that lead up there, and we don't know for 100%, but at the lap times right now, if the 48 machine, the 46 or the 48, for that matter, was to get right there on his back bumper, it could be a nightmare and a half for that number 6 machine. So it'd be very interesting to see. Like you said, knock on wood, he's probably hoping they're definitely not a caution coming out and it goes green the rest of the way.
And speaking of Curtis Vollmer as well, there early on, Joe talked about how he was about 3.7 seconds to about 4 seconds behind Tom Wetmore before going down pit road. But when they pitted in, Curtis Vollmer once again had an 8/10 faster pit stop compared to Tom Wetmore, but he's actually still lost some time. He's lost about a second and a half against Tom Wetmore. So it looks like the 3 wide action, the heavy battling he had to do to get to 3rd place definitely did slow him down a lot.
Yeah, absolutely it did. And the 48 machine right now, and he's got his hands full with a lap down car there, the 08. That's Jamie Christensen, which obviously I know Jamie Christensen from over the USRL League there. Very good guy, man. Knows how to power one of these trucks around the track here. And he's obviously on a little bit newer tires out there than most of these guys. You can see the helpful of the new tires versus old tires. That's something we need to talk about too, is these tires are going to even off as it goes on. It's a long way to go for another 20, about 20. We got 19 more laps or so. That's a long way to take it here on those tires. You're gonna be feeling it by the end of it.
You will be feeling it. The drive will be coming nothing but icy. And so far, they get around the 4 of Brent Kuo. Starashek on the 4 of Brent Kuo. Brent has gotten some of the damage fixed in the machine, but it is still way under speed there, Joe. That is determination right there.
Yeah, I know. He's back there in the 23rd position right now. I hate to see that 12 laps down on Brent. Smacked that wall earlier on, got a little loose in that truck. But definitely, man, he can, still out there trying to give it all he can and try to run. I mean, we've got 13 trucks on the lead lap out here. Very good running. And that's kind of the pace that we're looking at for a green flag style race. I mean, there's been no cautions, right, at all?
Nope, no cautions at all, man. It has been green all the way.
Make sure, man. I can get here late. There was a caution early on. But yeah, for a race that has gone green flag, from the green flag on to now, this is kind of what you look at. Obviously, when you have your faster trucks up front, green flag, pit stop spread, a lot of things out here. A lot of great sportsmanship being brought on with the passing and so forth being brought out. Seeing out here, I'm seeing it. These guys, man, are being very, very patient with each other. Now, with 10 to go, we'll see how much more that patience wears off.
Absolutely. And speaking of that patience, the closest drivers we have so far, second and third place, drive 48 of Vollmer and Cody McFadden. These guys are battling side by side as we speak. Curtis Vollmer trying to get back second place. 46 of Cody McFadden trying to maintain second place. But second place can only belong to one driver. Let's see who that's going to be. And so far, Curtis Vollmer gets second place away from 46 of Cody McFadden. But McFadden drives it in way hard on the outside line.
Yeah, it does. Coming out of turn number 2 to head down a bad stretch here. They're still door to door. Well, the 48 has to give up the ghost right there as they head into turn number 3. They'll go back nose to tail, but he'll try it again coming out of 4 here as we're going to come across the line. Going to be lap 111 here of 125 in the books, folks. It's heating up a little bit up front, but these two drivers there, Sean, the 46 and 48 there, Cody and Curtis, they've been battling for the last probably, 30-something laps amongst each other. It's been a very good battle between those two.
Yeah, it definitely has been an interesting battle, amazing battle. Yeah, knowing Cody McFadden's background with the Pro K&N series and Curtis Vollmer's background from last season right here in the Truck series, this battle is going to get nothing but hotter or more heated as the race goes on. And as we speak, we have 14 laps left. They're both being shown 5.1 seconds behind the 6 of Tom Wetmore. And speaking of Tom Wetmore is catching up to 97 of Garrett Robinson. Robinson is the last driver on the lead lap, trying to stay on the lead lap. He will be going a lap down if Tom Wetmore gets around him.
Yeah, it does. Tom's just looking to try to take him a lap down. They're still battling back here for second place. That 48, he goes on the inside there again. He dives it coming out of turn 4. He's going to see if he can do it. Nope, the 46 is going to lead the way here as we come across the line. Lap 113 and 125. They almost touch coming to the turn number 1. They are still door to door. I don't know if that inside, if his tires can hold up or not, as they storm out of 2, heading down the back stretch. Almost got loose.
And Joe, that battle is a very good thing. It's going to make 50 of Scott Mitten smile, because the more they battle, the more time he gains against them. And with that said, he will be all over them here before too long. Yes, he will be. He does have both drivers in sight and is catching up to them at a faster rate. He actually gained over a second in only a matter of 2 laps. And he's determined to get the job done. So far, 12 laps to go, almost a 10 to go mark. And once crosses the 10 to go mark, things definitely will change.
Yeah, it is. And right there, it's going to be awesome to see if these two drivers can maintain what they're doing. You see that the 48 got around the 46 there finally. He might be setting sail a little bit too late to try to run down the leader up there, as he has definitely got a fast truck out there tonight. But you're right, the 50 back there was loving what he was seeing in front of him. He was like, guys, get up there and battle just a little bit more, as we got 10 to go this time by, Sean.
And also some drivers at the back in the pack. Travis Pryor, Chris Gibbie, Marty Ray. Actually, Marty Ray is far from them. Chris Gibbie, Travis Pryor, Adam Eisenhower. These guys are within seconds of each other. And Pryor has sustained some right front damage on the machine. So might have been a victim of the turn 2 wall as well. Maybe even a turn 4 wall. Can never be too sure. But he is dropping 5 of Brent, the 5 of Garrett Robot, 24 of Chris Gibbie, and also Adam Eisenhower.
Yeah, and you got a lap down car right there in the mix of right there with Travis Pryor all over him. That's the number 5 machine there, Gary Wolbart. I think I said that right.
Wolbart, that sounds right.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, he's sitting in the 20th spot. Definitely on newer tires than those guys. Right now, the 81 there, Travis Pryor. We was talking about him earlier on, and his nickname the Kid out there, and he's definitely doing some good things. I know Pat T out in the chat is definitely cheering him on, along with Nancy out there cheering on Tom. Love to see all the family members again. A tremendous race happening here, but these guys are putting on a very good show here as we get into the closing laps of this one.
And Joe, you call Travis Pryor the Kid, but we call him up in the Dre broadcasting booth as Mr. Restart.
Yeah, well, he told me that's his nickname, the Kid, for some reason. I don't know. Well, maybe he's the Restart Kid. There we go. That's the good one. So we'll put it all together. Yeah, and hey, it works either way. Right now, he's still maintaining the top 10. He's had a phenomenal week, and I know, man, Pat out there in the chat is loving every minute of it, and I know he's loving every minute of it. So he's had a good week so far, and it's great to see him come out here and have the success that he's had.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, his season was very rough in the beginning, but definitely has been picking up and getting nothing but better as the season is coming to a close here. It definitely has been nice seeing him, and especially his determination. He has shown, man, he's become a better driver over time, same as everybody else out there. You know, we saw a lot of drivers struggling in the very beginning. They were rear pack runners, but Joe, most of those rear pack runners have become mid pack runners and front runners.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. You get better as you go on here in Extreme 99 because it's going to make you better with the competition level that they've got here and the trucks at the K&N, the trucks, definitely the Xfinity Series, and if you build it all the way up into the Cup Series here, yeah, it's just a storm of competition amongst all the series, and it's going to make you a better driver. I mean, and we're seeing it right here as we'll see a lot of these drivers move on up and throughout the series. I mean, they'll start off in the lower end, but then they'll move it on up as they get better, or as they want to move up into the series.
Oh, absolutely. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to be a part of this action, check out ExtremeMotorsports99.com. Drop the first E in Extreme, sorry, with the X. ExtremeMotorsports99.com, and you will not be disappointed. We are coming to the close of the season, end of the season. Have 2 more races left in the Track Series and the Pro K&N Series. So with that said, registrations or sign-ups will be opening, and you guys can race your way in. They'll be having recruitment races that you guys can join so you can get a feel of what it's going to be like racing with the drivers around you.
Yeah, absolutely. You got the season's coming to an end. We're going to crown a champ here. K&N, we're going to crown a champ here. And the Truck Series, we still got the Xfinity Series and Cup Series also crowning a champ. After tonight, we got those 2 races there, Chicagoland. And then after that, 2 more races there left. And again, and like you were talking about, recruitment's going on for those series and whatnot. But the Truck Series here brings on a different talent. I mean, these guys come out here and work their tail off week in and week out and bring a good sportsmanship to them and whatnot. And it's always fun to watch them. Always fun to come out here and ride and drive. This is where I started out here, Sean, when I came into the Truck Series. Let me tell you, there's some bad, fast boys out here.
Yeah, very, very fast drivers indeed. And the good thing about this, Joe, is that with a community like this, Extreme Motorsports 99, there's so much respect that goes on amongst the drivers. They race hard, but they do race clean. They respect each other. And that definitely is exactly why the races are so good. Just get your popcorn every time, and you will not be disappointed. Never disappointed. You see these guys have some bad races here and there, but they always pick up. They always come back because of how much fun they have.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, watching Travis Pryor right here. He's fell back to the 9th place spot. I got a feeling he's used up those tires. We're going to come across the line the next time by for Tom Whitmore. He's going to pick up the white flag here for the night, but he's in danger of getting in the 10th place spot as Vern Bradley is closing in on the back end there. Travis Pryor, as Tom Whitmore's just setting sail out there, rocketing into the moon as he took the white flag for this final time.
Status check on Curtis Vollmer and Cody McFadden. These guys have separated from the last time we last checked on them. When we checked on them, they were battling heavily for 20 to 30 laps. But now they are spread out about almost a second apart from each other. Curtis is being shown 5.6 seconds behind the leader, while Cody is 6.3 seconds behind Tom Whitmore. And right now, Tom across the start-finish line for the checkered flag, brings it home unchallenged. Curtis Vollmer second. Cody McFadden third, Scott Mitten fourth, and Zachary Kraser in the 5th place spot. Holy cow, Joe, what a race.
Yeah, what a race. I'm going to tell you what, you got to give your hats off there. Full on, no cautions, all green flag. From the green flag to the checkered flag. Very, very poised right there. Awesome strategy involved here tonight. But that man in the number 6 machine, well, he is one more step closer to trying to defend that title here at ExtremeMotorsports99.com for the Truck Series. But I'm going to tell you, Zachary did come out in 5th place, so he's still right there in striking distance. So it's going to be interesting to come with these next 2 races.
Yeah, most definitely. As right now we try to get an interview with the top 3 drivers: Tom Wetmore, Curtis Foreman, and Cody McFadden, and one other special guest here. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, and hopefully we'll see another smoke show from Tom Wetmore for his 2nd win in the Chase Series, trying to beat his record from last season in the Chase. 3 wins, all 5.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here. And the next 2 races that we're getting live here as they're coming down to the wire. Definitely going to be interesting to see what champion is going to get crowned.
Oh, Joey able to get a hold of the first place driver.
All righty, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to go down here to victory lane. The man out there, the number 6 machine of the Dre broadcast powered Chevrolet out there tonight. Tom Whitmore. Tom, Joey the booth. Got a copy?
I sure do, Joe. It sure is great to talk to you, man.
Well, I tell you what, man, you put a whooping on them out there tonight. From the green flag to the checker flag, it went all green flag racing from that point on. I know you were out there saying, please don't have a caution come out later on, because that would maybe put a kink in the plan that you had. But how was that truck? Because it looked bad fast out there.
Oh, man, this Dre Broadcasting Silverado was on a rail tonight. Definitely unloaded fast, and got to thank all my supporters over there in the Dre Broadcasting fan base. Rooting me on. I do appreciate it. Definitely got to give a huge shout out to Sean Zulu, his pet cheetah, and also Dave, of course. I mean, just without their support, man, wouldn't have been able to unload tonight. Really happy to be able to get it done for them.
I'll tell you what, how's it feel to say you're one step closer to repeat here and defend that champion, because you are the reigning, current, defending champion of the Truck Series at ExtremeMotorsports99.com. You're one step closer from defending that title. How's that make you feel?
I sure hate to hear you jinx it like that, but man, it sure feels great to get a win under here, and to see guys like Curtis and Zach who were down there in the TeamSpeak channel with me. Good to see them get good finishes too. So just really happy to get a strong finish. And man, you mentioned it, that long green flag run, the entire race, just a testament to this entire league at Extreme Motorsports 99, that Rick Donathan, John Houston, Nick Hunt, everyone who watches over this league, man, it's just a testament to the hard work they put in to put together a good group of drivers to be able to see 126 laps of green flag racing here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like you said, from the green flag to checker, being caution-free the whole entire time. I don't want to jinx you out there, though, but like I say, you are on a roll. You definitely, man, had the right luck on your side here and brought it home in victory lane. You got anybody you want to thank for that tonight?
You know, I mentioned it before, but I just want to thank one more time again my fans out there at the Dre Broadcasting Network. Want to give a huge shout out to them. And want to thank, as always, my eye in the sky, my crew chief, giving me the right calls, the right moves, making sure I'm pitting at the right time. It may be me in the cockpit, but there's definitely someone in my ear giving me the strategy calls. So I got to thank all them.
All right, well, I'll tell you what, I'll let you get back down to your crew's party time tonight, celebration. You're going to get ready, pack it up, head to next week, because you got 2 races to go, and we crown a champ here at Extreme Motorsports 99. Good win tonight here for you, Tom.
Yeehaw, man. I can't wait to do it next week. Talk to you later.
And that was second win for Tom Wetmore right there. This Chase Series is tonight's race winner once again. But next in line is his biggest opponent, his biggest threat early on tonight, the 48 of Curtis Vollmer. Get a cup there, Curtis.
Oh, 10-4, buddy, 10-4. Got you loud and clear.
How you doing tonight?
Doing great, doing great. What a race, huh?
What a race indeed. Yeah, absolutely. You guys went caution-free tonight. Saw many heavy battles throughout the whole entire track, Curtis. But just one quick question first of all. The biggest thing that we noticed about you tonight was your biggest opponent, 46 of Cody McFadden. Tell us about those battles.
Oh, yeah. We were side by side several times, several laps. You know, this Samson Motorsports Cobalt Tools 48 was on the rails in the long run. You know, I even seemed like I could pull Tom in on the long run, but battle in traffic, track position was everything tonight. You know, getting out front was huge for Tom. I mean, he had a great car, good run by all our teammates. The Zach, I think he got 5th, but strong run for all of us. I don't know. I mean, Cody, he was all over me. He was sticking right there with me. He was fast. You know, just battled hard with him. Really good racers out there.
Oh, most definitely. That did look very good from our end, man. You guys were just switching spots left and right until we finally were able to secure your second place spot and gain a couple of seconds against him and securing your second place finish here tonight, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And also for the final pit stop of the evening there, Curtis, you were able to beat Tom's pit time. He had a 13.5 second pit time compared to yours, which was 12.7 seconds.
I'm glad you told me that, because I'm taking that to the bank.
oh yeah, and that was 8/10 faster than Tom Wetmore's pit.
Yeah.
How was your pit crew working on that?
You know what? We got a hot pit crew, special selected for this 48 team. You know how Hendricks does it, and yeah, they've been working good all year. You know, it's good to see them working hard when we need them, especially there at the end. Track position was huge. Couldn't get around him fast enough to catch him. I'd lose him every time. You know, second or two. Just trying to battle back up, but yeah, really good. Pit stops were awesome. They were key. They're spot on. Everything just went great. Other than, like I said, trying to battle through pit stops or trying to get through that lap downers. I mean, there was a lot of people down, a lot of people hitting the wall, a lot going on out there.
Most definitely, we are glad that you were able to survive tonight's race. Very, very glad indeed. And you were determined to get the job done despite your heavy opponent for the season 40 McFadden not giving up until the very end of the race. He gave it all he had until both of you burned up all your stuff. And going into next week's race, how are you feeling? Michigan International.
You know what? These tracks are real good for us. Last week was an upset. You know, we got turned there. Looked like it was netcode or something, and then we didn't have our fast repair checked, which was the driver's fault. And before I got towed, so I was done last week. But we should have had a good run last week. I think next week's going to be just like this week. You know, these next few tracks are all about us. So we'll get it together, and look forward to finishing out strong. I'd like to special thanks Zach Ordish out there tuning in, and Gary. Yes, sir. You know what I'm talking about, Gary. Good to have you on. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, buddy, congratulations on your success here tonight, Curtis, and we definitely look forward to seeing all this momentum carry over to next week's race of Michigan International, and after that for the final race of the season. And with that said, buddy, you have what it takes. You're very determined, and that is all you need. So look forward to seeing you have your first chase race win at Michigan International. Have a good night, buddy, and go celebrate. You earned it.
Yep. Thanks a lot for everything you guys do up in the booth. Appreciate it. All you guys, Joe, Dave, Sean, appreciate it, man. Thanks.
And that was the second place finisher, Curtis Vollmer. And next in line, Joe White was able to get a hold of it for the season of Cody McFadden, third place finisher.
Well, I tell you what, we're down here, man, with the man that's got a plan here with the 46 machine, Sean. Cody McFadden, I tell you what, he had a heck of a battle going on with that 48 machine there for the good part, about 40 or 50 more laps there. Cody, it's Joe White the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cody, right there, you definitely had a bad fast machine, but seems like the tires went away as the 48 was closing in on you. Did you see him coming there, or did you just give up? I mean, did the truck just not have what it took, or was it tires here on this track?
Yeah, it seemed to be the tires there on that last run. I kind of burned them up trying to catch Tom, and didn't have anything there at the end for Curtis. So that kind of sucks, but third's still good.
Yeah, absolutely. Bringing it home in third place here tonight at Las Vegas Speedway. Hey, everything, man, anything that happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. And y'all two had a tremendous battle going on there. You went door to door with it for a while, trying to hold on to it. Like you said, tires probably just gave up the ghost. How was the truck throughout the whole entire race, though? Did you think maybe if there would have been a caution or something and bunched the field up, you might have had something up there to win this one?
I don't know. Tom's really fast all the time. But I felt like I was decent, at least close to him. So maybe if there was a caution, something could have happened. We might have had a chance. But At the same time, I don't want to ruin anybody's races out here riding for the chase. So since this is only like my third or fourth race in trucks, so but maybe next week at Michigan, I can give Tom a run for his money.
Absolutely, going to Michigan there. High banks, high speeds, high power, and some trucks. Well, got anybody out there you want to thank for the awesome run tonight here in third?
Well, just everybody here at Extreme Motorsports 99. This is an awesome series, running the K&N series too, and it's a great time. I want to thank you guys up in the booth for putting this on for everybody that's watching, and just all these guys out here that put on a good show. Caution free tonight is pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. From the green flag to the checkered flag, it was caution-free. Awesome racing between yourself there and the 48 machine. Again, congratulations bringing that thing home in third. Get on down there to your crew. They're going to pack it up, head to next week to Michigan for some high speed. Maybe you'll bring this thing home in victory lane. Congratulations again there, Cody.
All right, thank you.
Well, we're going to send it back to Sean.
Yeah, and that was Cody McFadden, third place finisher. Thank you, Joe. And next in line, special guest, also racing in the Chase 71 of Chris Thorman. Get up there, Chris.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Well, Chris, you had your hands full tonight, brother, but you did not give up. This track was very, very tricky. You had a lot of battles going on, man, tonight. Everybody was just pretty much trying to battle you, and you, too, were not giving up and trying to give it all you had here tonight, finishing in the 14th place spot. How's your race tonight?
It was pretty good. I'm a rookie here in the Extreme Motorsports 99 Camping World Truck Series, and I'm just happy that I made the chase, and start the race, try to keep my nose clean back at the back, but that doesn't work when there aren't any cautions, so I really had to dig the second half of the race.
Oh, absolutely, man. Those cautions, the race going green. So basically, well, we've come to a conclusion that too many cautions is a problem, and too few cautions or no cautions as well is a problem, and there's nothing in between. But absolutely, man, I understand. Yeah, caution would have been very, very beneficial, and that did definitely ruin a lot of drivers' nights, having to go green all race long like you guys did tonight. And tell us about your green flag pistols there, Chris. We noticed you were running your tank dry most of the time.
Yes, sir. I had a pretty good line running on old tires, and so I knew I was too far back to race them front five or so, but I figured I could give a good run to the guys around me in positions around me, and I took the Performa Chevy Silverado and just tried to push it as hard as I could.
Oh, copy that. And how is the machine handling in the long run? We noticed drivers like Brent Kuo and David White. These guys were victims of looseness. It was just ice driving, either entering the turn or exiting. How is your machine handling in the long run?
For me, after about 10 laps, I changed my line and changed my let-off point, and I would lose, but maybe a half a second a lap for all the rest of the laps. That's when I was making up most of my time, was on the old tires.
Oh, copy that. Well, sounds like you know how to get the job done when it comes to long run racing, and that is a very, very good skill to have. And starting tonight's race there, Chris, you came in, you were 8th in points, and last week at Chicagoland you did end up finishing in 7th place position. That was Chicagoland once again. With that said, how are you feeling going to next week's race at Michigan International? It's a little bit, it's flat at the same time. It seems to be a little bit bumpy.
This will be my first time at Michigan, so I'm really looking forward to it. I really don't know what to expect. We'll try to get some practice in and give these guys a run next week.
Well, congratulations once again on success here, Chris Thorman, tonight. And look forward to seeing your appearance back again next week at Michigan International Speedway. Any final words before we let you go?
I'd just like to thank Performa Elite Texas Graphics for paying all the bills and allowing me to do this. Thank you all for broadcasting.
Go celebrate, buddy. You earned it, and see you again next week.
Thank you.
And that was 71 of Chris Thorman, and that rounds up the interviews. Chris Thorman, Tom Wetmore having a second win of the Chase Series, Curtis Vollmer second, and Cody McFadden in the 3rd place spot. I am speechless, guys. That was a heck of a race. Joe, thank you for joining us. And Dave as well. I am very, very excited. And thank you, viewers out there in the chat. It was a heck of a race. Any thoughts there, Joe?
Well, I tell you what, 125 laps from green flag to checkered flag. Caution free here tonight, Las Vegas. They'll keep it here at Las Vegas. They'll go to Michigan next week, where you're going to see some big speed, big power here, and some big monster trucks with a big field of drivers there trying to chase down that man in the number 6 machine of Dre broadcast there of Tom Whitmore. It's going to be very interesting to see. But boy, I tell you what, they come out of here from the desert, and it's an awesome race tonight. And I appreciate y'all guys. Well, I appreciate y'all letting me come up here in the booth with y'all gentlemen.
Oh, trust me, Joe, the pleasure is all ours. And thank you very much. And tomorrow night, Joe, you'll be broadcasting the ExtremeMotorsports99.com Xfinity Series at Chicagoland Speedway. How are you feeling about that race, man?
Oh, I'll tell you what, the Xfinity Series is a very close battle going on at the top spot there. Don't know who's going to pull that one out either, just like here in the Truck Series. It's going to be interesting. Chicagoland, a lot smaller here than what we saw, but obviously a little bit more power involved with those cars. And obviously we head to go from Chicagoland with Xfinity tomorrow night. The Thursday night go to the Cup Series, which is even more power and definitely still a little bit closer. So it's going to be interesting to see. I don't know. I was talking to Dave about it earlier there, Sean. I don't know who to root on or even look at going into the chase. All I know is we got 3 races left.
Oh, absolutely. You have a lot of amazing drivers in the Xfinity Series as well. Cameron Hearn, Eric Tesk, Keith Haney, Nick Hunt, Richie Evans, Brian Senesac, Dwayne Carberson, Aiden Young, Mike Franklin, Colton Lane, Matthew Ozenbach. All these guys racing the chase. Well, Joe, you have your hands full, but we will be joining you tomorrow night. And once again, ladies and gentlemen, check him out. OSR Network, that is OSR Network on YouTube. We'll be broadcasting tomorrow night's Xfinity Chase Race 3, Chicagoland Speedway. And on Thursday, the Xfinity, the Cup Series as well. So definitely check him out. Any final words there from you there, Dave?
Well, couldn't ask for a better race. These guys put on a heck of a show, as Joe said. 125 green flag laps here at Las Vegas. Not one single caution. We did see a few drivers get up into the wall, but great driving by them to get it down off the track to keep it green flag racing. It basically came down to pit strategy and who could push it more. Great race. Can't wait to see what's going to happen next week.
Oh, absolutely. Took the words right out of my mouth. And that is Chase Race 4 next week, ladies and gentlemen. The Career for Veterans 200 at Michigan International Speedway. And the next broadcast is going to be tomorrow night with Hardline Racing's Truck Series. So if you guys would like to check that out also, or Joe White with OSR Network, check him out as well tomorrow night for the Xfinity Series. If you guys would like to watch that Chase race as well, Chase Race 3 at Chicagoland Speedway. That definitely will be very, very heated. So thank you for watching. This is the Dre Broadcasting Network. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you get notified every single time we go live, because we are live 6 nights a week. Different tracks, different drivers, different machines. The excitement stays nothing but higher. And without you guys, we cannot be where we are today. We can never thank you guys enough. I am Sean Zulu and David Everly. I also want to thank Joe White, special guest joining us tonight up in the Dre Broadcasting booth. See you guys again next race. Have a good night.